Have you ever heard of a world-class museum built on a university campus? This here is the Sainsbury Centre, located at the UEA. It's the first museum in the world to formally recognise the living life force of art. Follow me and we'll explore this exceptional museum today. So today we're happy to have Betty here, who's going to give us a brief introduction about herself and the Sainsbury Centre.
Yeah, hi, I'm Betty. I'm a visitor experience assistant here at Sainsbury Centre. And at the Sainsbury Centre, we have a slightly different ethos towards artwork and connecting with it. So we like to try and build emotional connections between the viewer and the artworks. So instead of just standing looking at a piece, you might lie down. We've got a chair where you can lie down and look up. You might switch places with the art. We have a box where you can stand and all the artwork's looking back in at you. So you're changing places.
Bruh.
So we're kind of questioning the idea of the response to art, so how we might respond differently or how we might interpret art differently depending on how we engage with it.
Interesting. So it's truly a multimodal visual and auditory experience, not just looking at pieces, but also just experience them in different ways.
Yeah, we like to say art is alive. So with that kind of ethos, we've tried to kind of change up how we think about museums and how we think about spaces. And we also operate on a pay what you can basis. So it means that anyone can see art, anyone can engage with art. There's no barriers to it. And, every person is valued, whatever you have to bring, whether you're academic, you're not academic, you've not really had much experience in a museum before, you've always got something to bring and something to give.
So thank you very much, Betty, for that introduction. I'm sure you know this place very well, and you must have a favourite piece. Could you tell us a bit about that?
So my favourite piece is Olive Green Squares on Vermilion, which is a work by the artist Wilhelmina Barnes Graham. It was made in 1968. And not only do I find it really beautiful to look at, so the colours that the artist chose, but I find the ethos behind the work really interesting. So the way she made the composition was by placing squares on the floor and then disturbing them with her foot. So she kind of kicked it and then kind of taking that the after effect and making it into this composition. And she spoke about how kind of two people can affect all of those around them. So I think it's really interesting from that perspective. But what I will say, the great thing about what we call the living area, which is the permanent collection, is that the collection itself is so big. This is only about 10% of the entire thing. And we switch things in all the time. So this is probably my favourite piece that is on display at the moment, but I'm not sure about, I probably couldn't choose from the whole collection.
Must be quite hard to choose.
Yeah, definitely, especially when you get so used to seeing something and then suddenly it's something completely different, completely new in its place, and it makes everything else around it look different, kind of affects each other like that.
So walking along the ground floor here, we can find art and exhibitions from all across history and from all different countries. But the ground floor isn't just what the Sainsbury Centre has to offer. Could you tell us a bit more about the other things they have here?
So the other side of the Sainsbury Centre is our big questions. We have these seasons based around life's big questions, and we aim to distill them down into exhibitions that everyone can come and be a part of. So our next season will be called What is the Meaning of Life? It'll be starting on the 16th of May, and there'll be 3 exhibitions running over the next couple of months, all kind of taking a good look at that question. The one I'm most excited for is an exhibition called Living by the Rule, Contemporary Meets Medieval. So it's going to be looking at medieval lifestyles, experience of styles of living, things like that, and what that can teach us about how we live now, how we lived then, kind of the rules we live by, and things like that. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting.
The Sainsbury Centre here in Norwich truly is an amazing place, with a wide variety of installations, art, exhibitions, and concepts really to explore. So if you're ever in the area, you should come along. I'm sure you'll enjoy it.